All right, let's talk about the invisible architecture of wealth. We're going to break down 8 habits that build it for you, like on autopilot. Seriously, no willpower needed.
You know, most of us think that to get good with money, we have to cram our heads full of information, right? More books, more charts, more everything. But honestly, that's a total trap. Just knowing stuff doesn't actually build wealth.
See, real financial literacy, it's not about what you know. It's about designing your environment, building this invisible architecture that makes the right decisions for you automatically, even when you're tired, stressed, or just not paying attention. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this like an architect. First, we'll get the mindset right. Then we'll build the foundation, shift the whole framework, and I'll even show you how to get an unfair advantage. And at the end, you'll have your very first blueprint. Okay, let's dive in. First up, and this is maybe the most important part, is getting into the architect's mindset. This is all about changing your entire approach from, forcing yourself to do things with willpower to just designing smart systems that do the work for you. Look, we've all got this monkey brain, right? It's the part of us that's impulsive, that wants the shiny thing now. It runs on willpower, and willpower is, well, it's limited. The secret of the architect's mind is that it doesn't even try to fight the monkey. Instead, it builds a system, an invisible playground that just guides the monkey to do the right thing. It makes the best choice the easiest choice. All right, time to lay the foundation. We've got 3 absolutely critical habits here. Think of these as the concrete and steel of your whole financial house. They are completely non-negotiable. Habit number 1. This is, without a doubt, the single most powerful change you can make. Automate your savings before you even see the money. This has nothing to do with discipline. It is all about smart design. And it's so simple. Here's how it works. The second your paycheck hits your account, an automatic transfer just whisks the money away to your savings and investments. Boom, you've paid your future self first, and you never even had to think about it. The decision is just gone. Okay, habit number 2, you've got to track your net worth every single month. And listen, this is not about obsessing over the stock market every day. It's about having one single, clear number that tells you, hey, am I actually moving in the right direction? There's a reason for this, and it's a universal truth. What gets measured gets managed. It's that simple. Think of your net worth as your ultimate financial scorecard. When you watch it, you naturally start doing things to make that number go up. It just works. All right, our third foundational habit is doing a 50-30-20 audit. Now, a lot of people hear this and they think, a strict budget. But that's not it at all. It's way more powerful if you think of it as a diagnostic tool. The goal here isn't to perfectly fit into these little boxes. It's about getting a brutally honest look at where your money is really going. Are your needs creeping up to 70%? Is your savings rate down at like 5%? This audit is how you spot the leaks in your financial boat before they sink the whole thing. So the foundation is solid. Now it's time to shift your entire financial framework. These next few habits, they're less about the nuts and bolts and way more about changing your psychology, how you see and interact with money. Which brings us to habit 4, priority matching. This is such a simple idea, but man, it's profound. Ask yourself this, does where your money goes actually line up with what you say is most important to you? Seriously, pull up your bank statement. You say you value your health, but you see charge after charge for fast food. You say family is everything, but you're spending more on random subscriptions than on creating memories together. Hey, this isn't about judging yourself, it's just about awareness. When you start closing those gaps, it's one of the fastest ways to find both more happiness and more money. Okay, next up, we're going to completely reframe how you look at a price tag. Habit 5 is all about calculating the true cost of something, not in dollars, but in hours of your precious life. Think about it. That new $1,000 phone, it's not $1,000. If you make, say, $25 an hour, that phone costs you 40 hours of your life, a full work week gone. Suddenly, you have to ask, is that new gadget really worth an entire week of my existence? I'm telling you, this one little calculation changes everything. Okay, let's get super practical with this next one. The money leak audit. This is where we stop talking about ideas and start taking real action. We're going to find and plug all those little holes where your money just seems to disappear. And the process is dead simple. First,
Export your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Then just go through them line by line and categorize everything. You'll be shocked at what you find. All those recurring wastes, the subscriptions you forgot about, the daily coffees that add up, those little convenience fees. You'll spot them and you can get rid of them one by one. All right, we're at the final section. I call this the unfair advantage. Look, the first 6 habits are powerful, for sure. But these last 2, this is what's going to set your entire architecture apart from everyone else.
Habit number 7 is something you probably haven't heard much about. It's called the 2% rule. And it's a unique little system for making progress that's so small, so incremental that you can actually stick with it.
The rule couldn't be simpler. Every single month, your only goal is to find a way to improve your savings rate by just 2%. That's it. Maybe you bump up your automatic transfer by a tiny bit, or you cut one small subscription, or find a way to make an extra $20. It feels like nothing, right? It's not intimidating at all. But when you compound that over a year, it creates a massive, massive shift. That is your unfair advantage. And finally, we have the rule that makes everything else work. Habit 8, the one implementation rule. Because let's be real, all this knowledge is totally useless if you don't act on it. This rule is designed to force you to stop just learning and start actually building. Here's the rule. Before you leave, before you click away, you have to choose just one of these habits and set it up. I'm not talking about tomorrow or next week. I mean right now. Are you going to go automate that transfer? Or maybe set up a spreadsheet to track your net worth? Or do a quick 2% audit? The choice is totally yours, but taking action is mandatory. So my question to you is, which system will you build first?